Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Shutdown podcast. I'm Elliott Giesler.
And I'm Scott Giesler.
And,
Yeah, here we are.
May 4th.
May 4th, baby. May the 4th be with us.
How about them apples?
Yeah. Governor Sununu putting the foot down and saying, nope, you have not had enough screen time, boys and girls.
Yeah.
You get back to your room and you think about what you did and you play a little bit more Animal Crossing. That's right. I know about Animal Crossing.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I just
makes me feel older.
Yeah.
That makes me feel like I'm like 5 years older than I am.
I'm just name dropping now. I'm just shamelessly name dropping.
Yeah.
I don't know any. What is Animal Crossing? Let me in on that one.
Okay, it's a video game where you are a little cartoon character.
Got it.
And you go around and you do good things for other cartoon characters, and then you exploit them for it later.
Wow.
And you become the mayor, and you are incredibly corrupt, and everyone thinks that this is a kid's game.
Is that for real what it is?
I mean, they put a nice little coating over it that makes it seem like a kid's game, but really once you start thinking about what you're doing, you're just exploiting good things that you've done in the past for revenue.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what have you been doing to keep busy?
Well, we started online schooling, and it's fine. I'm probably going to get tired of it after like 2 more days of it because, there's only so many times that they could say, okay, here's a story. Now, hear me out here. You're going to tell me what I already know because I read the story before you did.
Well, isn't that really what they're doing at school, though?
Well, yeah, but at least there they can put a nice coating over it and be like, hey, this is a school.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing against homeschoolers. They're great. I have no problem with it. You do your thing. But they can have it. They can absolutely have it.
Well, even then, they're usually being homeschooled by, like, a person. Like, a lot of homeschoolers are homeschooled by, like, one of their parents or something.
Which is fine. But what I'm saying is that I like the idea of getting up and getting out and going someplace.
Okay, that's your thing.
And then being amongst many people besides, and this is nothing against my family, but, absence sometimes makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah. I'm just saying, You meet other people, they challenge your ideas. I don't know. I don't mean to bust on the homeschoolers. They do a wonderful job. I'm just simply saying, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And, but beyond that, would you say that on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being pointless and 10 being total value for your time, how would you score this online learning at home?
It's like a 6. Because they have to keep doing the curriculum, but there's only so much that they're actually going to teach us.
Right.
When they can't do something in person.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I have found that I have to do things in much smaller portions.
Yeah. Because you can't really dictate, because like, you can sort of figure it out if you do like Google Hangouts and say, okay, where is everyone? But like, you can't really dictate where everyone is, so you have to do something smaller so that everyone's getting everything done.
Right. The number of times I have to keep saying, are you with me?
Yeah.
Is painful.
Yeah.
Because there's no faces to look at around the room. Most of the kids have figured out that they can go ahead and turn off their camera. And they turn off their mic. They could seriously be playing Game Boy in the background. Oh, yeah. And yes, I said Game Boy.
Game Boy.
In the background while I'm teaching. And, every now and then I get a situation where I've gone over something, what I thought is ad nauseum. Yeah. Like to the point where it's like, I think like dead people would get the thing I'm putting down. And then there's some kid going, wait, back up. How does that work? Yeah. And it's like they're playing PlayStation right now is what they're doing. So I don't know. Maybe.
And I mean, look, you can take a break if you're doing the online schooling thing and you're not in like an actual video call. You can take a break. Go ahead, but you actually like if you're in a video call, that's just like you gotta at least listen.
That's just not. Yeah, I agree with you. It's just not okay. But I think that you gotta. Do the time, man. I mean, the classes are like half the length of what they normally would be.
Yeah. I do everything that I need to do in like an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. I get all my classes done in like an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the day is just sitting there and having other people whine, I don't understand this. I'm like, fine, I'll do it. I'll tell you the basic plot of it.
So, okay, so we've dealt with schoolwork. And what are we watching right now? What are we watching for entertainment purposes?
Well, sports channels have run out of ideas. ESPN is just running 30 for 30 nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching I think it was Undisputed,
Yeah.
and they were just talking about who's better, Randy Moss or Jerry Rice, and I'm like, look, valid debate, but I mean the fact that we have to go to this instead of something that's actually happening is just a sign of the times. Like there's nothing happening for them to talk about other than NFL free agency, and if nothing happens for like 12 hours, they're screwed because there's only so much you could say about Tom Brady is in the Buccaneers, Patriots no have quarterback. Repeat 600 times.
Okay, now about that, I've come up with a solution to their problem. This checks all the boxes. They got about $800,000 left in their salary cap.
Yep.
Right? So one would argue that there's no way that they can hire anybody on. I mean, you could go to the XFL like the Panthers did.
Yeah.
Right? Which was, by the way, a brilliant move.
He's going to get killed out. He's a good talent, and I think he could succeed. The problem is I think he's going to get killed out there. Because I don't know if the Panthers have that great of a supporting cast other than running backs, and I think they have like one wide receiver that I like.
Well, the guy moves out of the pocket. So
yeah, but I mean, I don't know if against NFL deal, I don't know if he's going to be able to pull the same magic because I mean, Johnny Manziel, he made magic on the field when he was a freshman.
Yeah.
Came to the NFL, got absolutely smoldered because he tried to do that, and NFL people don't fall for that. They just
Well, here's the solution because it'll cost them peanuts. They could do this, and they'll still have something like $750,000 left in their salary cap. Is you go get Colin Kaepernick. You just go get him. He will work for peanuts. He'll work for coupons now. I mean, the man, nobody's offering him any jobs.
I'm not arguing that he would do it.
Yeah.
My problem is he's way older than he used to be.
Sure.
He made it
Sounds
to the
familiar.
Super Bowl.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, but he's not Tom Brady. He's not Tom Brady.
Nor am I saying he is. I'm simply saying you can hire on this quarterback. If he doesn't work out, what it cost you? Like $100,000, $200,000, maybe. And
but then,
if he does work out,
why would Bill Belichick want to do that? Because then, if he goes to Colin Kaepernick, right now people are saying Colin Kaepernick couldn't work in the NFL. But if he goes to the NFL and he succeeds,
right,
people are going to say, "Oh, see, he could have done it the whole time. People just wouldn't take a chance on him." But if he doesn't work, they're going to pretend that he was a good talent, and Bill Belichick just can't work without Tom Brady. And Bill Belichick doesn't want to hear that. Because as much as he puts on the tough guy macho,
Do you think he's crying into his oatmeal in the morning before he comes to work kind of thing? Or?
No, I think he just doesn't want to hear – because people have already said he wasn't really very good before Tom Brady. And he's not going to be very good after Tom Brady. So I don't think he wants to have to deal with that for another year before he drafts a quarterback.
Well, but again, this is what I'm saying is what have you got to lose? You play him for a couple games, he doesn't work out. Fine, put in Jarrett Stidham or you put in Brian Hoyer. But it didn't cost you anything to bring the guy in.
I mean, that's true. But again, I just don't think he will work. So I think you're just throwing away like 2 or 3 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. But you wouldn't – first of all, you can bring him in for preseason and see how he forms in preseason.
True.
And,
they're going to be playing all their quarterbacks during preseason.
Well, but okay. But right now, what do they've got? They've got
Jarrett Stidham, Hoyer. Brian Hoyer, Cody Kessler, and then who knows? Yeah.
So I'm going to stand by my statement. I mean, like I said, you could give the guy like we'll tell you what we're going to give you a free Netflix.
Yeah.
And
cookies before every game.
Cookies before every game, and the guy pretty much is going to be like, all right, sure, yeah, let's go for that for a year.
I guess.
Yeah. Give him $500,000. It's still going to be more playing for football than it is now. I mean, it's not. I know that right now part of the reason was he was asking for like massive dollar amounts to go play for a team.
Yeah.
I'll bet you right now his price will come way down.
Yeah.
I bet you his price will come way down. So.
I don't know if the NFL will want him to play though. I mean, that's another thing because he held a workout, and then during that workout he started screaming about how unfair the NFL was.
I don't think he was screaming, but he was certainly saying.
Well, yes. He wasn't screaming, but like he was like complaining about it, even though that wasn't the topic of what he was supposed to be doing. He was supposed to be working out and showing people, hey, I can play this.
And don't you think the Patriots would be doing the NFL a favor by giving him a job so he can either put up or shut up?
I mean, I guess, but I don't know if the NFL would want him in the league at all. I mean, because
I think they don't care. I think you bring him in. Does he take any at the national anthem? Maybe he does. Maybe he does. I know Boston fans probably wouldn't put up with half of that stuff.
Oh no,
sure
Boston
not.
fans, he would get killed.
I know, unfortunately, that might be the case. But he wins a couple games for Boston fans. Oh, I think they'd be all right with him taking a knee. I think they'd get over it pretty quickly.
Maybe.
I think that they are a fickle bunch when it comes to that sort of standing on principle or kneeling on it, as this case may be. So that's my 2 cents. Nobody can prove me wrong. I know I'm right.
Okay.
So
that's a bit of a statement.
See how open-minded I am?
Yeah.
Yeah, when everybody comes around my line and thinking.
Just a great guy.
Yeah, so.
Well, to the other side of that, Tom Brady.
Right.
NFC South.
Sure.
Drew Brees twice a year. He also has to play Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he does in those games. I think so. Those are the 4 games everyone seems to be focusing on. The two against Brees and the Mahomes and Packers. I think he goes 2-2 in those 4.
Mm-hmm.
Just because if he tries to implement some, I don't think he's going to completely change their offense to what the Patriots' offense was. Mm-hmm. But if he tries to implement some of it, even like veteran receivers like Mohamed Sanu were having trouble like picking up the system. So I don't know how Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are going to do with it. I mean, they're good receivers, but
I think we're about to find out very clearly how good each Belichick and Brady are separate from one another. Or were they a chemistry?
Well, here's the thing. I think if he doesn't do well, let's say he goes 9-7 or something and misses the playoffs, I think people are going to say that like at the beginning, but I think people deep down in their hearts know he's 43. If he doesn't perform well, it's probably because he's 43. I mean, you can't win 4 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 regular season MVPs because of your coach. You just can't. Like, you can succeed and win things because of your coach, but you can't win that much purely off of your coach.
But I don't think it necessarily. I think you're looking at it strictly from a mentor-mentee relationship rather than somebody who sits at one end of the chessboard and says, here are all the pieces that I'm going to play with, and this is how I'm going to use them. Coaching is more than just, all right, here's the game plan, boys. It's how are you building your team, and with whom are you building your team with, and what are the strategies you're going to use, and how do you change up those strategies when they're not working at halftime, right? So I think you got to give him more credit than just, okay, I'm not necessarily saying that Tom Brady was nothing without him. In fact, far from it. I would never even get any close to that. But when you look at it from, as far as a team manager goes, he's managed to create time year in and year out this team that Brady may be missing in Tampa Bay.
But he's never had a top tier supporting cast other than when he brought in, what was his name? Randy Moss. And that was like 10 years ago.
All right, but don't you think that just proves my point that they have a manager that can make not the best the best?
I don't think Bill Belichick is doing that, though. I think he's coaching. I think he has a hand. Every success that organization has had, he has a hand in. But on the field, I love Julian Edelman. I don't think he has that career without Tom Brady. Let's say he had gone to a team that had Bill Belichick but didn't have Tom Brady, I don't think he's as good as he is now. I really don't think he is. I think he's going to do fine next season because he's had that quarterback. He's had the mentors. He's been taught a lot. But I just don't think – I think part of the thing with Brady was he made good or not good great. He could make –
all right.
He could turn 7th round Kent State quarterback into Super Bowl MVP.
Okay. So you're basically attributing the quality which I was giving to Belichick to Brady.
Well, I think they both deserve credit for it. I think Brady deserves slightly more credit because just on the field, there's only Bill Belichick can teach them and coach them into being good, but Brady's the one who's executing. He's throwing the balls where they need to be so that he can learn, and then after he learns how to catch the regular ones, he gets slightly more insane, and he gets to Super Bowl 51, where he's making a ball levitate so that he can catch it faster.
Yeah, but I don't know where they teach that skill, the ball levitation thing.
Yeah, I mean,
this goes back to my concept of the LA Magicians.
Yeah, they make the ball disappear and they appear in the end zone with it.
Right. Like you basically they hike the ball and then the quarterback throws something down on the ground and a giant puff of smoke comes up.
There you go.
And everybody on the offensive team just disappears and then magically reappears in the end zone.
Yeah.
Right? And then the refs, because they have no idea what happened, can't necessarily call a foul or anything like that. And they check the replays, but they can't see it there.
Yeah.
This is,
I mean, they're magicians.
The LA Magicians. That's what they do. Yeah. They're not going to give away their secret. They're magicians. It's how they do it. And they can go over the sideline and say, how did you guys do that? We got to call the play. Like, we can't tell you. It's a trade secret. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Los Angeles, have you seen the Rams' new logo?
I have not. Nobody likes it.
I have to show you it. Okay, it's terrible.
All right. So, by the way, while he's looking it up, I'm going to quickly. We had some requests from last week for episode 2. One was funny hats, and I just want to tell you we are totally wearing funny hats right now.
Yeah, you can't see it.
And I don't want to explain, like explaining the joke makes the joke not funny.
Yeah.
So I don't want to explain the hats. I don't want to describe them, but the hats we are wearing right now are hilarious.
Yeah, you would not believe.
On the floor peeing yourself.
Yeah.
So do that right now. While he's looking that up, would you please get on the floor and pee yourselves?
We will give you 5 complimentary seconds to do that.
All 6 of you that are listening. I think that's generous, by the way. That's a high number. Yeah. Then the other thing we were asked to do is physical comedy.
Okay.
Okay. Now we didn't do that on the show, but I will tell you that. But right before we hit record, Elliott slipped on some marbles and slid across the floor. And I played some old-timey music on an out-of-tune piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was again, it just gold, absolute gold.
You would not believe.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is one of their new logos.
Okay. So the one I'm looking at right now, just so everybody out there knows, is it's a picture basically of, well, it would be a ram. I was going to say goat head for a moment there, but then I realized there's something wrong with that. But
it's sort of like what the old logo would look like if you're looking at it from a slightly different, like more frontward facing angle.
There's something very pagan about the look of this one.
It's very
they're going to draw a pentagram in the middle, like at the 50-yard line.
Yeah,
and then pray to Baphomet.
Which
you got to give me props for to be able to come up with that name in the first place. So.
It just doesn't feel like the other NFL logos. Like the other NFL logos, they're flat, they're 2D. There's something looking this way, or they're like, I don't know, the Steelers. It just says Steelers.
I mean, if you look at the Patriots one, that's a side profile thing. It's kind of what it's doing.
And then this is the other one.
Okay, the other one is just L.A., and then there's a horn coming off the A.
Yeah, it's not very good.
No, it's sort of nondescript. But they all have to look like they come from space now in order for them to be a good logo in 2020 to 21 season.
I mean, hey, Chiefs pulled it off.
So thank you for asking. Here's what I've been watching.
Okay.
During the break here, I just got done with a show on Amazon Prime called Kidding.
Yeah. And
it stars Jim Carrey. And okay, so it's kind of a strange show. It's not a kid's show. You will not be watching it.
No.
And it's Jim Carrey basically plays a Mr. Rogers figure. And I feel like, I'm going to tell you what it feels like. It feels like someone watched the Tom Hanks movie, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yeah.
And said to themselves, no, I don't believe it. I believe that Mr. Rogers must have a dark side.
Yes.
And so they wrote this script, these 10 episodes, showing a Mr. Rogers style character, like all the way through kit and caboodle, like high and low and hitting all the notes in between of Mr. Rogers. But when the camera stops, obviously he's going through family troubles. And they don't pull punches, like he's undergone family tragedy, and he
smokes, obviously.
No, he doesn't do that.
He doesn't?
He doesn't smoke.
He doesn't pull out a cigarette the second the camera stops?
No, it's nothing like that. I mean, they try to make him, what's really cool is with the character, they try to make him something where he wants to be good all the time. Like he wants to live up to his TV persona, but the more he's dealing with personal tragedies, the harder that job gets.
So it's like Joker, but if the Joker was like
a kid show host?
Yeah. A kid show host.
I guess if I squint my eyes and turn sideways, I might sort of get that.
If you close one eye and then close the other, and then
Right.
imagine the Joker as a kid show
and then
host.
I put my fingers in my ears while I'm watching it. Yeah, no, I guess that. Yeah, I would if I did those things. I probably would come to that conclusion.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, and what are we playing on the phone game-wise these days?
Not many games on the phone. Mostly, the only games I'm playing are on the PlayStation, and that's just mostly Madden. You know.
Yeah. You playing any Minecraft? We got Minecraft in our house, by the way, for PS4. Was the smartest investment that I made right before the shutdown. I sensed it was coming, and so I bought Minecraft for $20. You've been playing?
I played a little bit of Minecraft. Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of top out in that game after a while.
Yeah.
You're like, unless you're gonna go and you're gonna go LARPing in the underworld to go kill whatever super 16th level dragon or whatever.
Yeah.
You kind of top out after a bit on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Still playing a lot of Crowd City. On my
you're playing Crowd City?
Oh, yeah. They got a new version of Crowd City. It's kind of hilarious. It's called Dinosaur something, where basically they take the Crowd City platform.
Yeah.
But instead you have a giant dinosaur that walks around the city and is scaring off all the different, people within the city, and there are other dinosaurs competing with you. I'm not sure. I don't think you're eating the people, but you're certainly rampaging through in that same sort of,
Actually, no. There is one game I have on my phone. I have Uno. And I've been playing.
You have Uno on your phone?
Yeah, I've been playing online Uno on my phone, and it's Uno-tastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so let's think here. We've got so we got until May 4th.
Yep.
Okay. Any predictions between now and then?
I think people are gonna get real sick of this whole online school thing. I think it's gonna be in droves because I'm already sensing it with some of my friends. I'm talking to them. They are not happy with some of what's happening.
Okay.
They are.
But you just described it was okay. Do you think that you're like in the minority of that?
Well, I mean, they're not happy with some things. I mean, basically, like we're all fine with it right now, but we know that within time we're gonna hate it, and there's some things you don't like already.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the things you don't like?
Well, I mean, right now it's like it's small things. Like we've had to in every class other than math every day for the past 3 days now we've had to write a paragraph or something, and it's just like. And then, we were talking about we were just talking about how it's kind of weird that the kids who are honors level do more work as opposed to giving more work to people who are lower level, like CTP, so that they can try and catch up a little bit to the.
Okay, so do you think? Okay, that's an interesting idea. You think that the point of CTP is to get them caught up to the honors students?
Well,
versus, I'm just asking. That's the question.
I don't know if the point is to get them caught up to the honors students. What I'm saying is, if you want to get as many kids into honors level as possible, since we're not in honors CTP standard classes yet. We're all in the same classes right now.
Sure.
But we know who's who and where we're going, unless your grades improve and you get bumped up. And we were just talking about how we think the people who are CTP or standard level should be given more work or honors level work to see if they can stretch themselves to actually get into that if they really want to improve.
Okay.
As opposed to, one thing was today, it was if you are standard level, you write 1 paragraph. CTP, you write 2. Honors, you write 3.
Right.
We were thinking, what if everyone just wrote 3 paragraphs, and you see, if a CTP kid really wants to stretch themselves and get into honors, they can demonstrate that they are honors level.
Well, I think I can't speak for the entire school district on this one, so I'm not going to attempt to.
Yeah.
I have a different perspective on it. And yes, I'm a teacher, so it's my perspective, good or bad. I will simply say this. Let's start with the concept of the AP class.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the advanced placement class.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a basic fundamental misunderstanding in my book of what an AP class is meant for most students.
Okay.
A lot of students think the reason they're taking an AP class is because it will look good on their transcript. And so therefore they should take as many AP classes as they can so they can get into as good a school as possible and, maybe on the side get a lot of scholarship dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, that all those things in formula may happen.
Yeah.
But in my observation, in my experience, people who take AP levels of courses they have no interest in end up flunking or barely passing said class.
Yeah.
Which has led me to the conclusion that the only courses that you should be taking AP level on are subjects that you love. I.e., if you love social studies, take AP social studies.
Yeah.
If you love science, take AP science. But if you hate chemistry, don't take AP chemistry because your life is going to be a living hell. The concept of the levels is, what are the subjects you are more likely to commit yourself towards because you get into them more? Whereas the ones who's like, okay, we're at least going to give you at this level the basic knowledge that everyone should have.
Okay.
To meet the criterion that the school, the state, the government, etc., expects you to know. Whereas you take an honors course and you say to yourself, okay, well, this person can get a little bit more invested in this subject because they do better at it, and so we're going to challenge them at a higher level.
Okay.
So that's and you can disagree with that. That's fine.
I think that could be the theory, but in practice, that is not what is told to us.
Oh, okay.
What has been told to us is what you want to try and do is just get honors in every class so that you can have better grades and you are more likely to get accepted into scholarships. They haven't talked about AP at all. Maybe that's the idea behind AP.
Yeah, you got to go through honors to get to AP kind of thing.
Yeah, but with honors, that is not what has been told to us. What we have basically been told is trying to get into honors in basically every class so that it shows you have better grades.
And I won't necessarily disagree that honors is a good thing to shoot for across the board because it does demonstrate good work habit. But I will concede this point, which is colleges are not stupid.
Yeah.
If they look at a student and they see, oh, this person took all AP courses or, etc. In this day and age, that's no longer a unique mark on somebody. Yeah. It maybe on some level they say, all right, we're only going to take a certain type of student, but colleges are not stupid.
Yeah.
Nobody's good at everything. And when you apply to a major, what they want to know is, first of all, are you going to flunk out? And your transcript shall demonstrate that if you pass the courses on the level of which you take it.
Yeah.
Right? Followed by, is the course that they're applying for, the major that they're applying for, something that they really demonstrated interest in? Students of mine who are theater students who take AP chemistry, and they have they're never going to take a chemistry course in college when they go and study theater.
Yeah.
There's no point in them torturing themselves like that. And a lot of them, because they don't care about chemistry at all, end up barely passing it because they have to pass it or they have to go repeat their senior year or whatever. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I think the value system on CTP honors and so forth and so on, I perceive it differently than how you're presenting the argument. I'm not saying I'm right and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's my viewpoint on it. So
yeah, okay.
Okay. And I would rather have, speaking as a dad, 3 guys who excel at one thing really, really well and do the other stuff fine, good enough, satisfactory to the requirements, etc. Okay, you get the idea.
Yeah.
So, and I'm seeing that we're coming up on our time here. So,
all right. Well,
we got to wrap it up.
This has been episode 2 of the Shutdown podcast. Is that what
the Shutdown podcast? Yeah, that's our title.
All right.
So, hey, everybody, stay healthy out there, and remember, keep up that social distancing. I'm Scott Giesler.
I'm Elliott Giesler.
Stay clean.
Yeah. Go Bucks.